So in this session, uh, we will be learning about functions. Okay. So let me create a file, functions.py. Okay. So till now, whatever we have learned is like those type of code we were writing it and running it all the time. But when we have something like when I want to do something again and again, I was doing a looping, isn't it? But let's say I want what the loops are doing, they're doing something immediately. That means when I say print hello 5 times, it is printing the hello 5 times immediately one after the other. But that is fine. But in reality, we may need something like we want to execute something again and again, but not immediately or exactly after one after the other. Let's say I want to print hello now, and after some time, I want to print that hello again. Okay, and let's say after 2 3 days I want to print that hello again. So in that case, what do? I cannot go with loops will print it now itself. It will print 5 times at the time of executing it, right? So that's why we need something called functions. We have something in Python called functions. What these functions are doing, they are nothing but a piece of code. Functions are a piece of code, but they are not simple piece of code. They are a reusable piece of code. Functions are a reusable piece of code which can be called to execute it whenever we want. Okay. So functions are there in all languages, whatever C, C++, Java, JavaScript, Python, Rust, everywhere. These functions are there. Okay. These functions will help us to run that piece of code again and again whenever we want. Okay, now how do we create a function? Okay, first thing I told the purpose of function, because when we want to write something again and again, execute something again and again, I cannot write it again and again. Let's say I have a code like print hello. Okay, now this after print hello I am writing something like a equal to 7 plus 6. Okay, then I did something like O equal to 9 into 8. Then I suddenly want to do print hello again. Okay, and then I don't want to print again. Then I want to do some calculations. Let's say T equal to 8 by 2. And then suddenly I want to print the hello again. So there is no order. I may want to print the hello at any time. So in this case, I will need a function, because print hello, writing it again and again is not efficient. Okay. So what we do is we create a function. How do we define a function in Python? We use the def keyword. Okay. Def, then the function name. So let's say function name is print hello. I'm just giving a name. Okay. After that, what I need to put is I need to put parentheses like this. And then I put a colon. And then I write here what I want to do. So what this print hello function will do, it will print hello. That's it. Nothing it will do. Okay. Now to use this function, so what do I do? So this code, if I execute this code, it will not do anything. Okay. Let us see. Py functions.py. Okay. This piece of code will do nothing. We can see I am getting nothing in the output. Even if I have written here print hello. Why this is happening? Because this is the function definition. Here I'm not telling Python to print the hello. I'm telling that I am creating a function named print hello, which will print this hello. I'm not telling Python to print. I'm just telling Python to create this function. And I will call when I call this function, or when I tell Python to execute this function, only then print hello. That means only then hello should be printed. Otherwise, don't print it. Okay. So when I want, I have to execute this function. This execution of function is known as calling. Okay. So whenever I can call this function. Let me do something like some mathematical operations. I want to do e equal to 4 plus 5. Then I did t equal to 9 divided by 3. Okay, like this I did, and then now I want to print hello. So what do? I write the function name. So here this function consists of many parts. This is known as the def keyword, def. It is used to define a function. Okay, we are defining function with, that's why we are writing def. Then this part is known as the function name. Print hello is the function name. Then this parenthesis is used for declaring parameters. We'll come to parameters after some time. Okay, first let us see what will happen without parameters, then we'll go to learn what are parameters and arguments. Okay, now, and then this colon will tell us that from the next line the function will start. So function code will start. So here this is the execution. That means this is the line of code to be executed when this function is called. Okay. Okay. So whenever I call this function, only this line will be executed. Okay. Fine. So now how do I call this function? I write print hello. That is the same name I have to write here. If I write here small h, it will not work. I have to give the same exact name, print hello, and then the parenthesis. Okay. The moment I do this, I will get hello in the output. These things I'm not getting because I'm not printing these values. Okay. Okay. So that is how it works. That is how we define a function and then we call a function. Okay. Same, in the same way, we can create a lot of functions. Let's say I want to do something else, like I want to print the sum of 1 and 2. So def, I'll create one sum and I'll write here print 1 plus 2. What will happen here? This thing will not give us any output. The moment I call it, only then it will execute the code. Okay, so to call the code, what I have to do, I have to write sum and parenthesis. What is sum? Sum is the function name. Okay, save it and run the code. I will get 3 in the output. Fine. It is able to print the values. Okay, so these are two different ways. One I printed a string. Here I am printing a number, and inside the print I am executing the addition of two numbers and printing it, right? Okay, this is all about functions. Actually nothing more is there, but one thing is left, that is the parameters. Okay, what those parameters will do. So what are the parameters? Here I'm printing only 1 plus 2, but I don't want to do like that. What I want to do is, this function should not tell me what are the numbers. I should tell the function that please add these two numbers. It may be 1 plus 2, it may be 3 plus 4, it may be 4 plus 2, anything. Okay. So when that kind of scenario is there, what I have to do is I have to give those numbers to that function. I have to give those numbers to this function so that that function will do the addition of those two numbers. Okay. So for that, we need something called parameters. So we have to define the parameters in the function itself. Okay. So when I define the function, what I have to do is I have to create some parameters like this using commas. Okay. If I have more parameters. So if I write a comma b, that means I'm telling Python that this function will take two numbers and print the sum of these two numbers. To print the sum of these two numbers, what do I do? Instead of writing 1 plus 2, 1 plus 2 is doing 1 plus 2, not sum of A and B. To print sum of A and B, I have to write here A plus B. Okay. Sum of A comma B. And what do I write? In the execution part, I write print A plus B. And while calling it, if I call like this, it will not work. Let us see what it is saying. It is saying type error, sum missing two required positional arguments A and B. Okay. So that means here I have to pass some value. What are the two numbers I want to add? I told the sum function that you will get two numbers. Please add those two numbers and print it. But while calling, I am not giving those numbers. Initially, I said I will give you numbers. Later on, I didn't give him. So the sum is confused what to do. Okay. So that's why what we have to do is while calling the function, we have to pass the numbers. Let me pass 2, 3. Now what will happen? When I'm calling the function, I'm passing 2 and 3. These 2 and 3 will go to A and B. Okay. 2 will go to A, 3 will go to B. And while printing, it will do the A plus B. What is A plus B? 2 and 3. 2 plus 3 will become 5 and it will print 5. That's how it works. But what are these known as? Here, this in the definition, it is known as parameter. If I put my mouse here, I can see parameter A, parameter B. When I'm calling it, these are known as arguments. 2 and 3 are known as arguments that I'm passing while calling the function. Okay. These are known as arguments. These are known as parameters. Now let us execute this code. What did I get? I got 5. So this way, now I am having flexibility. I can print whatever I want. Let's say I pass here 100 and 345. If I pass 100 and 345, I get 445 in the output. Okay, because I'm using these parameters or arguments, I'm passing these arguments. If there are no parameters in the function, I cannot pass. If there are parameters, I can pass. Okay, this way I can create a function, execute a function by calling it, and we can also pass arguments to the function so that they can be processed and the desired output can be achieved. Okay, fine. Then I want to show something like if I write something like this, uh, let me think. Okay, I have this. Okay, fine. If I write an x equal to this, is it correct? No, it is not working. Okay, fine. If I have an x here, this thing is not working. That means what? I cannot assign a function definition to a variable. Okay, directly like this. Okay, we'll see this topic later on. But what is happening here? This code was having two parts. This part is known as the function definition. This is known as function call. Okay, this is known as function definition. This is known as function call. Okay, now this function definition, as we have seen just now, cannot be assigned to a variable, but this function call can be assigned to a variable like this. Okay, the function definition cannot be assigned to a variable, but a function call can be assigned to a variable. What happens when I do this? What is stored in X? Will it store the value of A plus B there? We don't know what will be stored. So let us print the X and let's see what is there in X. Okay, save it and run it. What did I get? I got two output. I got 445 and I got NONE none. Now for which line it is coming, because there are two print statements. One print statement is here, one print statement is here. Now, which line is responsible for which line, which output? Okay. So what is happening here? When I write like this, the first thing happening is it is calling this function and then it is giving to x. So that giving to x will come later on. Calling the function will happen first. So when the function is called, it is printing a plus b. So this 445 output, whatever I am getting, this is because of this line. Okay. And this none is because of this line. Okay. I hope that is clear. But what is this none? Why that none is coming? So in Python, whenever Python interpreter is not able to determine any value, it gives a output, it gives an output called none. Not only here, in many cases we will see this none. Okay, it is not like none will be coming because of only this line. No, it is not like that. It will be coming because of different things. Now what before going into that, so none is not a big concept. Okay, don't worry about that. It is just something which is not having any value or something which is not understandable or not what it is called evaluated. When something is not Python is not able to evaluate something, it will give us none. Okay, in other languages we have some other terms. Somewhere it is called undefined, like that. Okay, null, undefined, many things are there in other languages. Here it is known as a none, N-O-N-E, none. Okay, now why we are getting this none? Because here this when I'm giving a, I'm assigning a function call to a variable, what happens is uh, this x is expecting something. When I write y equal to 10, what is y expecting? Okay, I got a number, so I will store that number. But when I write x equal to a function call, what is this x expecting? Is that x is not expecting some value. It is expecting that the return value of this function should be stored in x. Okay, what is this return value now? It is a new term that we are hearing now. So what this function is doing now? This function is actually printing the sum of two values. It is doing nothing else. Okay, it is a printing the value sum of two values. That's it, nothing else. So it is directly printing it. It is not giving us the value. I want to I want to perform the addition of two numbers. I want to store that sum of the two numbers in a variable. That thing is not possible using this code because it is directly printing it. It is not storing it in any variable. Okay. So to get something, that means instead of printing it in real time, we will not print everything in a function. Whatever operation is done, we will not print everything. What we normally do is we return some value from the function and we store it in a variable. Okay, see here I can do like this also. Like I have a variable called x equal to 0. Okay, and then instead of writing here print, I can write x equal to a plus b. In this way also it will be stored. But if I do this, what will happen? A variable will be created. Okay, a variable will be created and then I am storing it there. But that is not the correct way. Okay, I don't want to create a variable. I want to create a function which will perform the addition and it will return some value. When I want, I will take the returned value and store it in a variable. Okay, not like this in a haphazard way, like creating variable and doing all these things. Okay, so what do I do is I have to use something called a return. So these functions will have a return statement. When this return statement is there, it will that return statement will have an expression. So syntax of the return statement, let me write here. Instead of print a plus b, I will write here return a plus b. When I write like this line is having two parts, a return keyword and one expression. Okay, return keyword is there and then one expression is there. This return will tell the function to please give this answer or output back to the user when he wants it. Okay, now I am not wanting any value at this point, so it is not giving me any value. But the moment I write this line, this x is expecting the return value of sum, right? So it will get the return value of this and the return value will be stored in x. But what is happening here when I write a print and I'm getting none? What is actually happening there? So the Python definition of a function tells us that whenever we create a function, even if we don't write the return keyword, still the function returns something. That something is none. Okay. Whenever we create a function, if I don't write a return keyword, that function will still return something. It will return something called a none, which has no value, which is not defined, which is not evaluatable, which will not give us any output. Okay, that none is returned by this function, and x, what x is doing, x is expecting the return value of this function, right? So return value is there. Yes, return value of this function is none. It is always there when I don't write the return keyword. So none is stored in x, and when I print the value of x, I get none here. Okay, that's how it works. Okay, fine. Now let us see when I have the return keyword, what will happen. When I have the return keyword, it will not print the value. Initially 445 it was coming, right? It will not print because I don't have the print statement here. Instead I have the return statement. And then when I write x equal to sum of 100 comma 35, sum of 100 comma 35 will be executed. It will return a value. What is the value? It will return 100 plus 345, which is 445. That returned value will be stored in x. So x will have 445. When I print the x, I will get 445 in the output. Okay, this is how the return statement works. Okay, now let us see some more example of these kind of things. Okay, more example of functions. Actually, I want to see some more example of functions. Okay, so let me take an example. Okay, now instead of doing like this and storing it in a variable and then printing the value, what do you mean by this? See, I write something like y equal to 10, and if I want to print 10, I can print console.log of 10. Oh, sorry. I can write print of 10 as well as I can write print of y, isn't it? Both will give me output as 10, isn't it? If I run this code, both these lines of code will give me 10. If I print 10, then also I get 10. If I print y, then also I get 10. Isn't it? So same thing, if I do here, that means y equal to 10 was there. I am writing y once in the output, I am getting 10. I am writing 10 once in the output, I am getting 10. In the same way, if I write print x, I will get 445. If I write print sum of 100 comma 345, then also I should get 445. Am I correct? What am I writing in this 10 these two print statements? One time I'm writing the left hand side part. Here I'm getting 10. Once I'm writing a right hand side part, then also I'm getting 10 in the output. In the same way, Here also I have this left hand side and right hand side part. When I write left hand side part in the print, then also I am getting that 445. When I'm writing this right hand side part, then also I'm getting this 445. That means both are having the same value, isn't it? Because I'm assigning this value to that. Okay. So instead of creating these variables, if you don't want to create these variables, you can directly write like this. Then also we get the same 445 in the output. Okay. This is how these functions will be working. Okay, fine. Now let me take a function. Def add of x and sorry, print x plus 100. Okay, print x plus 100. And then I write here print add of 10. What will happen? When I call this add of 10, it will print x plus 100. Because when I call add of 10, it will call this function. When they call this function, it will print x plus 100. What is x plus 100? 10 plus 100 is 110. And this line is also expecting the return value of this, isn't it? So this return value is none. You can see from here, return value is none. So it will first print 110 and then it will print none. Let us see. Yes, 110 and then none. Because add of 10, this 110 is coming because of this line, this print statement. This none is coming because of this statement. Okay. Because add of 10, the writing like this is the same as writing like this. Add of 10 and print x. So these two lines are having same meaning. Print of x and print of add of 10 is having same meaning. Okay. So that's why add of 10, when I print x, what is happening? Add of 10 is returning none to x. So we are getting none in x. In the same way, if I directly print add of 10, then also I get the none. Okay. So instead, what I should be doing, I should be doing something like this: return x plus 10, and then I write here print add of 10. Add of 10. So what do I get here? I get 110, or else if I write A, B, C, or else sum is equal to add of 10, and I print the sum. This is also same thing. This will also give us 110. Both are giving us 110. Okay, that's how it works. Okay, now let us see a small example of another function where we will compare two numbers. So def compare of a comma b. Okay, we'll compare two numbers and then we'll check this. If a greater than b, then return a, else return b. Okay, so function is over. If a is greater than b, return a, else return b. Now if I want to call this compare, I have to write 4, 5, but this will not print anything. There is no print statement. So I have to print this whole thing. Either I uh, greatest, I take a variable called greatest and I store the compare of 4, 5 there. What will happen? It will store the return value of this. So first it will take this 4 and 5 in A and B. 4 greater than 5 is false. So if will not be executed, else will be executed, return B. What is there in B? 5. So 5 will be returned to greatest. So if I print greatest, what do I get in the output? I get 5. If I reverse these numbers like 5 comma 4, then also I get 5. If I write here 100 comma 345, I get 345. If I put first 2 comma 1, I get 2 in the output. So this function is able to compare two numbers and return the value, and using this line we are printing the return value of this function. Okay, this is how these functions will work. Okay, fine. Then now these functions will be used in a variety of ways. Okay, we can do a lot of things like whatever we have done till now, like all those assignments and whatever examples we have seen. All examples can be done using this, because what we are doing is this thing we already know how to execute this part. We are just putting it inside the function. That's it, nothing else, and we are calling it. There is no nothing new to be known here. Okay, so let us now move on to something called what they are called as, there are some functions in Python, they take other functions as argument. Okay, now this function is taking numbers here. Okay, but we have some methods which we have already used but we have not used in detail. Okay, those functions will be taking some arguments where they are another function. Okay, these are just numbers, a and b are numbers, but a and b can be function also. Okay, we'll go through them now. So what do I do is I take the example of a sort. So let's say I'll create a new file. Okay, so I'll create lod.py. So LOD means a list of dictionaries. We had list of dictionaries. I'll take a small list of dictionary and try to do something there. So let me go and take a list of dictionary from our assignments. So where those things? Huh? These are very big. Okay, I'll take this people list of dictionaries. Okay, I have this big list of dictionaries. Now what I want to do is, when we were doing sorting on a list of number, let me show you what was happening. I'll come to this list of dictionary, but before that, if you see a list of numbers, numbers numbers 21 comma 12 comma 89 comma 34 comma 6 comma 74. Okay, when I want to sort this list, what do? I write numbers dot sort, and after doing numbers dot sort, what do? I print the numbers. What was happening here? If I write pylod.py, I'm getting a sorted list of numbers: 6, 12, 21, 34, 74, 89. Okay, let's say I have names equal to one list, like Ravi, then Hari, then Sushmita, then Teja, then Priya. When I have something like this, if I write names dot sort and then I print the names, what do I get in the output? I get Hari, Priya, Ravi, Susmita, Teja. They're also sorted. Okay. But if I want to sort this people list of dictionary, because this is also a list, this is also a list, numbers is also a list, names is also a list, and this people is also a list. Actually, it is a list of dictionary, but it is still a list. So if I try to sort that, like people dot sort, and I try to print this people, print people, what will happen? If I try to sort this, it is saying, giving us some error. It is saying that trace back most recent call list people dot sort of. Oh, I passed a zero by mistake. Okay, people dot sort. Okay, huh. Now see what it is saying. It is a type error less than not supported between instances of dict and dict. So while comparing, they do some comparison while sorting. Okay, which one is less than, which one is greater than. So when this less than operator is applied on this each of them dictionaries, it is saying that this less than is not supported. So that means we cannot compare two dictionaries. Okay. So in that case, we have to go for a different approach. We will use the sort method only, but we will do something else. Okay. So we need to know what to do with this people list, this list of dictionary. So when it is list of numbers, list of strings, list of boolean, list of like only these things, numbers, and mostly will be sorting numbers and strings, then it is totally fine. But when I want to sort this, I have to tell the sort method that what I want to sort. According to what? According to first name I want to sort, according to last name I want to sort, according to age I want to sort, according to gender, city, salary, what do I want to sort, that I have to tell to Python or tell to the sort method. Otherwise, sort cannot compare. Okay. So for that, we have a different form of sort method. Let us see that. What do I write here? I write people dot sort, and then I have to write here e equal to something. Okay. That something, let's say I write here X. I don't know what is that something. That's why I'm writing X. Okay. So first we need to know that this key equal to, key is a argument we are passing to sort. So it is known as keyword argument. Okay. It is known as keyword argument. When I pass, normally I was passing 1, 2 in the functions, not in sort, but while doing sum, while doing print and all those things, sum of a comma b, sum of 4 comma 5, those 4 5 direct values are known as, whenever we are passing direct values to a function call, they are known as positional arguments. Okay, they are known as positional arguments. But when I am writing like this, key equal to something, key equal to x, this key equal to x is known as a keyword argument. Okay, it is not a positional argument, it is a keyword argument. Okay, fine. Now what should be this x? In this x, I have to somehow tell the sort method that please sort this list according to salary. Whoever is having least salary, lowest salary should come first. So like this 2000 is the lowest salary. So that means this first name Nikhil, this whole dictionary should come in the first. Then it should go to 10,000 salary Praveen Gubbala. Then it should go to Srikant Gubbala. Then it should go to Pradeep Reddy. This way it should be sorted. Monica at last, and at last Ria Vadoria 40,000. Okay. But I cannot write here something like key equal to salary. This will fail. Okay. Where is this salary? It doesn't know. So what sort method is expecting is that this key wants a function that will give us the value what I want, the salary, let's say. So this salary value I have to give to that that should be returned from that function. So for that, first I will create a function. Okay, def sal. Okay, def cell. I'm just writing a name. You can write anything. Def cell, and here what I will do, return def cell return. What do I write here? I have to return cell of, I'm writing D here. Okay, D means each dictionary. Okay, D means each dictionary. Return D of salary. Okay, I have write this. This function is returning us the D means dictionary, dictionary of salary. How do we access this area? This dictionary of first name, dictionary of last name, dictionary of age. So that's what I'm writing, dictionary of salary. So I have to write a function, first declare a function like this, then I run the sort method. So people dot sort of key equal to, what is the name of the function I created here? Sal, isn't it? So I'll write here sal. Now if I print the people, I will get the sorted list of people. Now you can see here. First name Nikhil is coming, who is having salary as 2000. Then Praveen is coming, who is having salary as 10,000. Then Srikant is coming, who is having salary as 20,000. Then Pradeep is coming with salary 25,000. Then Monica with salary 30,000. Then Ria with salary 40,000. Okay, this is what I am getting. Okay, now this sort, did we see something like sort in the sort along with the key? If I want to reverse it, sort in a reverse order, I already have a reverse equal to true. Yesterday we saw that in the previous class. We didn't discuss this key, we discussed only reverse. Now what I'm doing is I'm passing key equal to cell and reverse equal to true. What is the meaning? I am telling Python that please sort this people list on the basis of salary. That means low to high salary. But suddenly I am saying that no, not low to high, reverse it. That means high salary to low salary. So if I do this and save this and run the code, what will happen? I am getting first Ria Bhadoria, who is having a salary of 40,000. Then Monica, who is having a salary of 30,000. Then Pradeep, who is having a salary of 25,000. Then Srikant Gubbala, who is having salary as 20,000. Then Praveen, who is having 10,000. Then Nikhil, who is having salary as 2,000. Okay, this way I can sort the people according to whatever what it is called value I want. Here I am doing it according to salary. But let's say I want to sort it according to first name, salary, age also. That means in different functions. So I have to create so many different functions here. One def I have created, another def, let's say I am creating age. Okay, age is up, and here I'll have the D, and here I write return D of age. Then I have def, what is the other one? First name, right? Okay. Def fn, I will write fn. Def fn means first name. Fn of D, here return D of first name. Okay, fine. Now here I have put key equal to sal, which is this function. That's why it is sorting according to salary. Now if I write here age instead of sal, what I get? I will get the sorted according to age in a reverse order. If I remove this reverse equal to true, I will get in ascending age order. So first age 14. Initially I got age 36 to 14. Now I am getting 14, 20, then 21, then 22, then 32, then 36. Okay, this way I can sort it according to age. But if I pass here fn according to this function, it will be sorted according to first name now. So very simple. In one line, we are able to write everything, but we have to define these functions separately. So now what has happened? Monica, then first name Nikhil. So these are all alphabetical order. Nikhil, then Pradeep, then Praveen, then Ria, then Srikant. Okay, alphabetical order. Reverse alphabetical order means reverse equal to true, and we get reverse alphabetical order from Srikant to Monica. Okay, that's it. This is how we pass these things. Okay, but what happens is when we are writing these functions like this, uh, what we are doing is we are writing it here, again we are writing it there, isn't it? So two times we have to write all these things. Why can't we write this whole thing here itself? Isn't it? That will be a better way, right? But if I directly, instead of fn, if I directly copy this whole thing and paste it here, it will throw an error. We cannot do like that. Okay. So what Python came up with is Python came up with a new technique called lambda expressions. This lambda expressions, what they do is they help us to write functions in a shorter way, not very big functions. These kind of small functions, to write these kind of small functions, we use a lambda expression, but not for big functions. When we have a lot of statements, lot of this, that condition, so a lot of things when they are there, we don't use lambda expressions. For short kind of things, one line return value is there, then we can go with that lambda expression. Let me show you how that lambda expression will be written. So first I will write a lambda expression for this function. Okay, so what do I write here is I create a lambda, like I write lambda lambda, then, and also this salary, whatever I am writing here. Why am I writing this function name here? We can also have functions with no names. Do you know that? We can write something like this, a def, and directly like this. So when so there is a problem with def. What is def doing? It is expecting. So here I can see the error. Expected function name after def. Okay. Okay. Fine. So I cannot write it there. But why am I writing it here? Here I am writing this SAL because I will be using this SAL here, isn't it? Here I am writing age because I want to use this age here. That's why I'm writing it. But when if I'm able to write this whole function here, I don't need what is the function name of the function. I'm directly telling to key that this is the function, you just run it. So at that point, lambda expressions will let us create functions with no name also, because I want to call it here itself, not there. Okay. So what do I do here? So I'll create a lambda expression for this one equivalent. So this code and the code I am going to write will mean the same, will have the same meaning. Okay. Okay, fine. So what do I write here? I write here lambda lambda. No function name is needed. What is the parameter I am having here? D. So I write here D, and then I give a colon like this, and then I write the expression. What return I have? This is the return I'm having. So I copy this and I write it here, but I don't need this return keyword also. This will make it so easy. See, this whole line means this whole thing. This whole function is now compressed to this small syntax, lambda d colon. After colon, whatever I am writing, that means that is the return statement. Okay. Lambda means it is a lambda expression. D means the parameter I have here. And after that, I have a colon just like this. After the colon, whatever I have, That is the return statement that I have here. Okay, this is what. So in the same way, if I want to create a lambda for this one, what do I do? Lambda d colon d of age. Okay, same thing. Lambda d of last one is first name. Okay, these are the equivalent function for lambda expression for these functions. Okay, for instead of this I can use directly this. Instead of this function def age, I can use this. Instead of this I can use this. Okay, so now what I will do is I will replace the previous 3 lines with these 3 lines. Okay, now see what I will do is I was using this whole function in this cell, right? For this cell I was writing this, so I'll remove this whole cell. Instead of this cell I will put this part instead of cell, directly like this. Key equal to lambda d of salary. What do you mean by this? This means that I am trying to get the salary of this persons, and I am saying that according to that salary sort the values. So sort it according to salary. If I want to, so let me run this code now. If I run this code, what do I get? Is it able to sort or not? Because people dot sort, I am passing this lambda and I am printing that people. So yes, it is sorting. It is salary according to salary. Ria Bhadoria is having 40,000 because I have put reverse true. That's why it is giving us reverse in reverse order. Lowest salary is 2,000 coming at last. Okay. In the same way, let me now pass this age lambda to this key. If I pass it here, it will give us age in reverse order. First is 36, then 32. If you want ascending order, you just remove the reverse. It will sort it in ascending order of the age. First age 14, then 20, and so on. Okay, this way I can pass lambda here. So first name lambda, if I pass it here, so I get the list sorted in first name according to first alphabetical order of first name, so that I can remove these functions. I don't need these functions. Okay, I have the lambda, which is enough for doing this kind of sorting. But remember, this lambda will use not in all functions, in place of these kind of things only. Okay, when we are passing, when we want to pass a function as an argument to another function, only then we use lambda expression. Okay, fine. Now what more can be done with this lambda? So there are a lot of other things. Okay, there are some methods. Let me show you. So let this be there. Let me create another file that will tell us about some more methods which are using which can use lambda. See, this sort is not like mandatory that we have to use lambda. I have shown you without lambda also. By creating a function and putting the function name here, it will totally work fine. Okay, just to reduce the code, we are writing lambda expressions. Okay, I don't need to explain this here also. Directly I write like this, and it is doing first name. If I write here age, it is doing age. If I write here salary, it is doing salary. Let us see if I put a gender, what will happen. I am putting like this. There is no more functions defined anywhere. Okay, this will totally work fine. What it is doing, it is putting all the female first. Why? Because gender is a string. Okay, so if it is a string, female f is coming before m, right? Male m is coming later on. So all females are are together and male is in a different place. Okay, okay. Now let me create one more file. So here I want to show you two more methods where this lambda will be used, where you can use normal function also, but I will be doing it with lambda. Okay, fine. There are two methods called map and filter, which we use on iterables. Okay, But mostly what we do is we use, when we say iterable, iterable means string, then list, then tuple, then dictionary, then range. These are all iterables, but we mostly work on lists. Okay, so what this things will help us to do, this map and filter, they they help us to create a new lists. Okay, they help us to create new lists from existing list. So let's say I have a list called nums, and nums is having 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5. I want to create a new list which will be squares. So earlier what we did, we used something called list comprehensions, right? Here, what did I write? X power 2 for x in nums. If I write like this is a list comprehension. We have seen this yesterday in yesterday's class. So if I print this squares, I get, so py map filter dot py. So I got 1, 4, 9, 16, 25. Okay. Now I'm not saying that this is a bad way. This is one of the best ways to create a new list from an existing list. Okay. But we can also use a map function. What this map function will do, this map function is a very powerful method. What this will do, this will take some arguments. First argument it takes is a function. So this function, either you give a name, you create a function outside and you give the reference here, that function name here, or else we will use a lambda. Same like sort. In the sort, what we were doing, we were creating a function first, then we gave that def cell, that cell I was passing to that key equal to cell, and then we were doing it, or else we will create a lambda. So lambda expression is more better, right? It is having less code. We don't need to define the function outside. So I'll be going with lambda. Okay, so first is a function. Second, after the function, second argument what I have to pass is, that is the name of the list. What is the name of the list? Nums. This nums I have to pass here. Okay, here I have to pass the list, first function, then list. Okay, now let us write. What is the function I want to do? I have to create the squares from this numbers. Okay, so first just see this. If you are confused, then I will just use this def square. Okay, I am creating a function like this, square of, let's say, a, and I am writing a return a power 2. Okay, if I do like this is the square function I have written. So what I have to do in the map function, first I have to write pass the function name. What is the function name? Square. Square first I will write, and then what do I do? After that I have to pass the name of the list. Name of the list is nums. So this part I will comment it. Okay, this part I don't want to run. Okay, nums. Okay, map of square comma nums. This is enough. Okay, map of square comma nums. Now this will return a value, so I have to store it in a new array. So squares equal to map. So this variable I'm storing the new list. Okay, now if I print the squares, I will get the, what it is saying, map object at this. Okay, map of square common nums. So this I have to convert to a list. This is a map object. Okay, so what do I do is print list of squares. Okay, if I do like this, now I will get the output like this: 1, 4, 9, 16 and 25. Okay, now instead of doing like this, what I can do, I can also use a lambda expression. So I'm just showing you where we can use the lambda expressions. Okay, I'm not saying that this is the best way to create a square. Best way to create a square is the list comprehension always. Okay, but if you want to do it in, use the map method, what we have to do. So instead of square, I will write the lambda expression. I write lambda then I would write x colon the return statement. What was the return statement of the def? I wrote return x power 2, right? Lambda x colon x power 2 and nums. And I do this. Okay. And I get the same output now using a lambda. Okay. This is one place where we can use the lambda. In the same way, I can use the lambda for a filter method. There is another method called filter method. What this filter method will do? It will also have the same syntax. First the function, then the expression, then the list. Okay. So what do I do there? There, the purpose of map. What is this map doing? Map, in the map and the list comprehension. If you see, we don't have the for loop in the map method. We have only the function what it needs to do. Okay. So what is happening here is this map is actually looping through each element. So that map is actually doing the for loop. Okay. This map is taking this nums list and it is taking each number and performing this function on each number, and it is giving a list of the things. Okay. So this map is looping on each number and doing some operation. This is the operation. Take each number and square it. That is what it is doing. This lambda is saying to map that please take each number from the nums list and square it. Okay. But filter, it will do something else. In the filter, we don't write all these things. What we write is there also we will pass a lambda, there also will pass a function. But that function will, in the function will give a condition. Please give me all those values. This map is taking all values, right? All values and squaring it. But filter, I will not square all values. I want to take only those values which are passing a condition. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is there. I want to take only those numbers which are even. I want to take only the even numbers from the list. Then what I have to do? I'll show you again in the similar way. First using a def. Then we'll go to lambda without the def. So def even. Def even will take 1x, let's say, then return x modulus 2 equal to 0. Okay, this is the condition I am giving. So this condition is returned. Okay, now I have to use it in the that thing. So even numbers is equal to what? Filter of, first the function name. Function name is even comma the name of the list nums. Okay, so again this will give us again a map kind of thing, isn't it? So I have to make it a list. So print list of even numbers, and now I will get only the even number 2, 4, not the 1, 3 and 5. Okay, same thing if I want to do using lambda. What do? I, instead of writing here even, I write lambda, then x colon the return value. What is the return value? X modulus 2 equal to 0, that I write here. Okay, now I can remove the def, that is the function, and if I run this code, I again get the same output.